Welcome inside MetLife Stadium, everybody, in East Rutherford, New Jersey. I'm Mike Petraglia, joined as always by Patriots expert columnist for WEEI.com, Christopher Price. Chris, no one ever said this was going to be easy. I think we all knew all week long it was going to be a grind. We thought the Patriots would pull away at the end. That wasn't the way this one unfolded. The Patriots hang on for dear life, 17-16. And how many times have we said it this year? A Patriots game is decided by a blocked field goal. This time, Air Vince, as he was called, Vince Wilfork, Kevin McCourty with that nickname, I cannot claim it my own, came up with the big block of the Nick Folk 52-yard field goal. Your thoughts on the Patriots surviving and advancing to Week 17, knowing they have a first-round bye?
The two things that come to mind here, first and foremost, you look at this team, they continue to make important plays at important times. Big plays at big times, whether it's special teams with a blocked field goal today, whether it's a key interception, whether it's a key tackle.
A key sack of Dante Hightower.
Exactly. Dante Hightower's sack today was huge, knocking them out of field goal range, making it that much tougher for Nick Folk. That changed the arc of the ball. The other thing, too, is that they always have these games late in the year. They always have these games. Inevitably, they always play lousy against fairly lousy teams. And it's a cautionary tale for this team going into the postseason more often than not. I wouldn't read too much into this game. I wouldn't get too worked up about the state of the Patriots based on this one game when you consider the fact that they were without their best wide receiver, their best offensive lineman, and their best running back, as well as they were missing guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
So I wouldn't be worried too much about this one. They were going up against a team that was absolutely sky high, looking to play their best for their coach, who's on their way out the door. We saw Rex on the sideline throughout the whole game.
Fist
high
bumping.
five, exactly. High five and fist bumping. This was a sky-high Jets team that always plays the Patriots hard. This was another example of that today, but in the end, the Patriots just made a few more plays to pull this one.
And Kyle Arrington did not play in this game as well. You're talking about 4 starters that the Patriots were missing. Look, was it a perfect performance? No, but there are people who are going to look at this game and say, this is why the Patriots should be worried going into the playoffs. I don't see it that way at all, and you don't either. It's not that we're fanboys of the New England Patriots. It's what this time of year is all about. They're gritty divisional games that the Patriots have always proven they are just that much better when it counts.
It comes down to mental toughness. We talked about that during the game. The Patriots are a mentally tough team. They're the sort of mentally tough team that when things don't go their way all afternoon, they don't fold up the tent. They're able to stand, they're able to fight, they're able to make the important plays when they need to make them. We saw that again today.
Let's talk about the offensive line. If you're going to criticize the Patriots today, I think it does have to start with the interior of the offensive line. Yes, the Patriots were missing their starting left guard in Dan Connolly, but the rotation we saw, it was a bad harken back to the beginning of the season where the Patriots were playing, Russian roulette with the middle portion of their offensive line. And that's not something really that instills a lot of confidence in people, especially when Tom Brady is the quarterback. What did you see in terms of the problems along the interior of the line? It
was the left side of the line particularly. No Dan Conley. And Conley has been banged up over the last month or so, but he, over the course of the full season, has been the Patriots' best and most consistent offensive lineman. He was not out there today, and it was a domino effect. Primarily Nate Solder, I thought, was the guy who struggled. As a result, Klein was next to him. Klein is a backup offensive lineman. Klein should not be playing in a game like this. I don't think Klein is a very good backup guy, and I think he's maybe a borderline practice squad guy, but he's not the sort of offensive lineman you need in a game like this when you need to trust the blind side of Tom Brady. We saw them switch. At the start of the second half, they moved Wendell from right guard to left guard, and they brought Cameron Fleming in to work as the right guard. The pass protection improved a little bit at that point. I also think it's important to note that the Jets still showed today why they're one of the best run defenses in the league.
Sure did.
And it's very difficult to be one-dimensional with that kind of offensive line in that sort of situation. I think that the run blocking and the pass blocking got better in the second half. It's something that does bear watching them going forward, particularly the health of Conley.
The game of Danny Amendola I thought was huge, especially in the first half. He had that big first down late in the second half. It was a controversial spot. The Jets didn't think that he had it, but upon further review, he got it. Danny Amendola had some big catches in this game and the 39-yard punt return in the first half that set up the Patriots' only touchdown of the first half.
Amendola played very well. I thought it was probably Amendola's best game of the year when you figure in not only offense but special teams as well. But it was a collective that helped lift them with Julian Edelman on the sidelines. Brandon LaFell had a nice game. Rob Gronkowski had a nice game. They were able to get some stuff out of Amendola. So Shane Vereen, I thought, had a couple of very nice catches and was able to really provide a good jump start for that offense at the start of the third quarter. So it was a collective, helping pick up where Julian Edelman left off. The fact that he wasn't out there today, my understanding, at least at this point, it might be a little bit more precautionary than anything else. But again, one guy to watch going forward from a health perspective.
Logan Ryan, your thoughts? It looked like at times he very much struggled.
Yeah, I think this pass defense right now is as good as that third cornerback. And I'm not just talking the slot corner, because historically Kyle Arrington has played, when he's played slot corner, he's played very well. That third cornerback position, you're not going to throw it to Rowley. You're not going to throw it Brandon Browner. So they're going to look around for that third guy. Most defenses are going to be in that nickel situation. They're going to be looking around for that third guy. Whoever that third guy is, not so much Logan Ryan struggling, but Malcolm Butler or whoever, Alfonso Dennard, if he was out there.
We saw that last week.
Exactly, he would have struggled. So it's not so much singling out Logan Ryan, but it's the fact that offenses know where to go when they're looking for the passing game. And again, they're not going to look toward Revis, they're not going to look toward Browner, they're going to look toward that third corner, that slot corner. If he's not in there, it's Arrington. They're going to go with that guy as well.
You talked about Brandon Browner after the game. He had some interesting comments. He said, remember, that is a good Jets team. Then he paused, at least when they play us. And that was his way of saying, look, we know what the Jets are. They're 3-11 now, 3-12. They're playing out the string. They're playing hard for Rex Ryan and probably his final couple of games with the New York Jets. But we knew this would be a battle. Darrelle Revis, you were in on that scrum with me as well. I asked him, what this kind of win means going into the playoffs, and he said this game is all about mental toughness, and yes, those are some chips that you carry forward going into postseason.
Yeah, and I think this team has been tested with games like that at this point, and I know he referenced the Green Bay game. He said that was another game where they were mentally tough, they just couldn't make enough plays at the end of the game. The ability to, and I like your phraseology there, kind of stack that currency, be able to stack those chips, and when it comes to mental toughness, that can pay off down the road and into the postseason when you're facing a team, particularly early on, when you're facing a team that might not have been there before. If the Patriots go into the postseason facing a team like the Colts, maybe a younger team that doesn't have that sort of postseason experience, doesn't have that experience in close games, those mentally tough kinds of games, I think that currency ultimately can pay off in the end.
Well, that leads me to the next subject. Cincinnati Bengals, they could do the New England Patriots a huge favor on Monday night at Paul Brown Stadium if they beat the Denver Broncos. Patriots with this game, this win today here at MetLife Stadium, clinch the first round bye. If the Bengals beat the Broncos, that wraps up the #1 seed in the AFC for the upcoming playoffs and home field throughout to the potential of the Super Bowl in Glendale. Next week, it's the Buffalo Bills. We'll see how the Patriots handle this Christmas week, obviously with the holidays upon us, and the win now wrapped up. The Patriots have a little more time maybe to unwind a little bit, heal those bumps and bruises, and we'll see how it plays out in Week 17 as the Patriots get ready to wrap up this regular season with a game against the Buffalo Bills. Again, the final here at MetLife Stadium, it was the Patriots 17 and the Jets 16. For Christopher Price, I'm Mike Petraglia, WEEI.com.